Brought to you by Techno Camon 30 series.
We are in Antigua, and when you talk about Antigua, you of course talk about the beautiful beaches, but you also talk about legendary cricketers, and they don't come as big and as good as the man who's standing to the left of us in Sir Curtly Ambrose. Me and Vikrant are lucky enough to get some time with the great man.
I'll just add one more word: the tallest.
That was going to be my next question. My next question is, how's the weather up there, Sir Curtly? Is it nice? 2 degrees cooler from where we are?
Well, one thing I've always said to people when they ask me that question, I say, well, first, if it's rain, it hits me first. The sunshine hits me first. Everything hits me first before it gets to you. So I know exactly what's happening.
You're the savior.
You are the savior. Okay, we are here for the World Cup, and before I get to a cricketing question, I also want to ask you a musical question. Your second innings is about music. How did you make that transition from a lethal fast bowler who would never smile, who would terrorize batsmen, to now this smiling, pleasing the crowd kind of a musician?
No, it's something I've always wanted to do after my cricketing days are over. I love music. I'm from Antigua and Barbuda. I'm from the Caribbean. We are naturally music people, So I've always said that after my career is over, I want to take up music. So hence I got into a band and everything just took off.
Right. We recorded the music that you were playing yesterday. It was fun, and I remember coming here in 2006. We did exactly the same thing. Sir Curtly's not changed at all.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Well, I'm a bit older, even though some people say I still look like I can play, which is a nice compliment, but the body can't take it. No.
But there's so many legends cricket which is happening internationally. I'm sure no batsman would want a certain Sir Curtly Ambrose in the other side. Even now.
Even with just the ball in your hand, you'll be intimidated.
No, well, most of them will be happy to take advantage of the old man. So I'm retired, I stay retired.
Okay, I want to talk to you a bit about cricket, and right now the headline maker in India, I can't remember the last time a bowler from India was as popular as a batter. Indian batters are superstars, but now we have a Jasprit Bumrah who's as big a superstar. What I want to know from you, what makes Jasprit Bumrah special? What makes him unplayable at the moment?
He's different. I can't put it in any better. He's just different. You look at him, and I'm a big fan. I like watching him bowl because he's very unorthodox. He's not a traditional type of bowler. Long run-ups, get into a rhythm and all that stuff. The short, well, is it a run-up or a walk? I don't know how to describe it.
He just stumbles in.
Yeah, he just walks, and then, but whatever he does, he's highly effective and has served and is still serving in Indian cricket very well. I enjoy watching him because he's different. He can swing the ball, he can generate pace when he wants to. He's just different and highly skilled.
Is he the best in this World Cup so far? And do you think, since we all know that batsmen do win you games and you need bowlers to win the World Cup, do you think Bumrah has it in him to win the World Cup for India?
Well, he does have the skill and the know-how, but obviously it's a team game, so him alone can't do it, because even if Bumrah bowls well and other bowlers don't support him or the batters don't get runs, India could still lose. So it's a team thing, but yes, he certainly will play a huge part and is playing a big part up to this moment. India, they're undefeated, so far, but they look a good team. I watched them today against Bangladesh, and Bangladesh wasn't even in the race. But they look a good unit. You got some wonderful cricketers. Rohit Sharma, the skipper. You got Virat Kohli, the great man, someone who I admire as well. I love watching. Young Pant, yeah. I think he's a dangerous player. He's a dangerous man when he gets going. So India, they got a good balanced team. The bowling, led by Bumrah, of course. So they look really good. So can they go all the way? Of course they can, but you never know.
The tougher games will start now.
Correct.
Australia, and then let's see what happens in the semi-finals.
Yes, it's going to be tough because we all know T20. On any given day, any team can beat any team. 1 or 2 good overs, could cost you a game, or 1 or 2 good overs could win you a game. That's the nature of T20. So it's hard to predict a winner. But India looking good.
Okay, I know you said you're a Jasprit Bumrah fan. Just to extend that question, right now, who do you think is the best fast bowler across formats? You've got a, let's say, a Pat Cummins, you've got a Josh Hazlewood, a Jasprit Bumrah. I know there's Jofra Archer, he gets injured. Your
Stark.
best, Mitchell Stark.
You know, I've been asked that question so many times, and it's kind of difficult to say, right? But Bumrah, obviously, you know, without sounding a little bit too biased, because I like him, he's good at all formats.
Yeah.
So that's no question. I don't think anyone would argue with that. He's good at all formats. Pat Cummins, Hazlewood, Stark, you know, Rabada, and all these guys, they play all formats and have done well. So to say who is the best of the lot, it's kind of difficult. You know, it's difficult to say.
Just one thing that I noticed now with batters, which while you were playing wasn't the case, these ramp shots, these, you know, switch hits and all of that. All I wanted to know was, if you had the ball in your hand and you had a batter like, let's say, a Pant who plays reverse hits, or a Surya Kumar Yadav who does these scoop shots, what would a Curtly do to batters like that?
Well, I tell you something, you know, T20 cricket is such a fast-paced game, and batters today very innovative. They try things, you know, so they don't give bowlers a chance to get settled into the rhythm or anything. From ball one, they're having a go, you know. So if I was playing in today's game, you know, batters will still do it, because they've got the guys who are great bowlers, who are much quicker than I was, you know. So like Mitchell Stark and these guys were quicker than I was, and they still switch hitting and scooping and all that stuff. So I reckon they will still do it, you know. So I wouldn't want to say that because of what I did when I played, they wouldn't have done it. They probably would. Not probably, they would, because that's the nature of the game. It doesn't matter how fast you are, guys are going to try things. So for me, if I was playing in this today's world cricket, I would have to have a little more variations, you know, like the slow deliveries and all that stuff, slow bounce into the pitch and all that, you know, just to, so you can't be too predictable in T20 cricket, especially because, you know, guys can, I mean, bigger bats, smaller boundaries. I mean, for me personally, I'm a little bit biased when it comes to the cricket, because I think the fast bowlers in particular suffers a lot. Too many rules are against them, right? Batters can do anything they like and get away with it. Bowlers, fast bowlers in particular, because I'm fast bowler friendly, you bowl a no ball is a free hit. To me, I never like that rule, because guys are trying hard to represent their country, and from time to time you overstep the mark. Why a free hit? Everything is tailor-made for the batters. You're half an inch down the leg side, they call a wide. And obviously, I never heard me, when I do commentary, I talk about that a lot, and show how upset I am. I mean, if a batter missed by half an inch on the leg side, why is it called a wide? So everything against the bowlers, fast bowlers in particular. So whenever I see fast bowlers doing well, it pleases me, because there are too many things against them. Everything tailor-made for batters.
Somebody like a Virat Kohli, who's got 80 centuries in international cricket, knocking at the doors, maybe hundreds may eventually happen. And you also played against Sachin Tendulkar.
Don't ask me to compare them.
No, I'm not asking for any comparison. In fact, that's a wrong notion.
Yes,
I mean, for people to say that XYZ would have scored runs in that era, XYZ may not have scored runs in that era. But what's the fault of the batsman? I mean, somebody like a Virat Kohli may have been a Virat Kohli in that age as well.
I think, well, I don't think, I know he's a great player. And how I judge players, because people like to compare different eras. I don't particularly like to do those things. But what I can say, when I look at great batsmen, how I judge them, they, like presently, Virat Kohli, he's dominating in today's cricket. My question to myself is, would he have done well during my era or before my era? I believe he would.
He would have.
And because of that, that's why I give him great. Sachin Tendulkar, the same thing. Guys like that, Ricky Ponting and these guys are great players. They can dominate in their era, and for me, in any era, because they're good enough to do that. That's how I judge greatness. Not really compare that era to this era. Just if you could dominate in any era, yes.
And just that everybody had the same role model in batting, Sir Viv Richard.
The original king.
The original king.
Well, so Viv, I mean, same thing. So Viv could have dominated in any era he played because he was that special.
This era he would have
Murdered. With his bat size, with those boundaries.
And apart from that, when you look back at Sir Viv's career, when he played, Viv averaged 47 in one-day cricket, where he had no restrictions
and with a
back in
great
the day.
Strike rate.
Correct, 90 something strike rate,
Phenomenal.
which was phenomenal. Others were like 60, 70, so he was way ahead of his time. If Sir Viv played the 2 days game, he would probably, I mean, strike would be like 180 maybe, or you know, and averaging maybe 60 or something, you know, because he was that special. He was way ahead of his time, you know. So that's how I judge greatness. Can do well in any era.
I just want to mention something that was spoken in the Indian press conference. I don't know if you know about it, but Rahul Dravid was asked as coach that, you know, if India can come back to Barbados and win this T20 World Cup, will it erase the pain of that 1997 test match that happened where India were 81 all out? And he said nothing that this Indian team does can erase what happened there. Sachin Tendulkar says, worst day of his life. You were responsible for that.
I would agree with them. I'll tell you why. I mean, 120 or something had to get, and look at that batting lineup. That was a powerhouse of a batting lineup. And we ourselves thought this is going to take something really special. Look at the lineup, that batting, right? And no one I mean, even us, even though we won the game, even us were a bit surprised because we knew it was going to be tough. But what we had working for us is that it was an up and down pitch, you know. So we figured, you know, if we get those balls between the wicket and wicket, you know, bowler on the stumps, one keeping low, one jumping high, it could make a little bit difficult for the batters because they're not sure. You could pitch on the length and pop up in your face, pitch on the same length, squat along the ground. So they have the problem, not us. But honestly, we knew it would take some sort of something special with that batting lineup, you know. So I agree with Sachin and Rahul Dravid. Nothing can erase that, right? Because no one would have bet against India not winning that game.
If I remember correctly, Sir Curtly, there was a template that you already had that day. There was a test match which I think was played at the same ground in 1992. This was South Africa's readmission.
Yes.
And I think it was a similar test match where they also needed some 130 odd runs, and then they lost the game.
Myself and Courtney Walsh.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we
Always yourself and Courtney Walsh.
Well, let me rephrase that. Courtney Walsh and Curtly Ambrose. He's my senior partner.
Yes.
And he always reminded me I'm senior. You know, so to get it right. Walsh and Ambrose. Yeah, but there's so many times when the team look to us to bail us out of trouble. You know, and we have a few of those in my year against South Africa. The last morning, the 5th morning, they needed 80 yard.
And they had, I think,
yeah, 8 wickets in hand, because they lost 2 the night before, and everyone thought it's all over. But you know, we are resilient. We're not going to give up. If you're going to beat us, you'll have to beat us. We're not going to hand it to you. And what even made it more special for us, they boycotted the game.
Yeah.
There was no spectator in the crowd because Anderson Cummings wasn't selected. They selected Kenny Benjamin instead, and the Bajans didn't come out.
They didn't come
so we thought, well, you know, we had to dig deep, you know. And then we figured South Africa just back into international cricket after 22 years. They're a bunch of rookies, because the only one who played Test match cricket was Captain Wesley. Yeah, the skipper. Others making the debut. So we thought, there's no way we can lose to 10 rookies. That's embarrassing for us. So it doesn't matter what, we had to dig really deep, you know. And I remember Desmond Haynes saying, you know, before we took the field on the last morning, that no matter what happened, if we're going to win or we're going to lose, Walsh and Ambrose have to bowl all day. we couldn't give a young Kenny Benjamin on debut. Patrick Patterson wasn't bowling well, and that was really encouraging words. Walsh and Ambrose have to go all the way, no matter what. So, you know, and then we pulled it off, which was really exciting for us, and to show the Bajan public that it's not about where you come from, it's about West Indies cricket. So I was extremely disappointed with the Barbados public because they put a player over West Indies cricket. And for that, I was very disappointed.
And that famous death stare to Steve Waugh.
That everyone remembers.
No, I want to know from Sir Curtly.
Do you know that is on YouTube, and it keeps getting million views every year?
You know, the funny thing about it is that most people, when they talk to me about cricket in the past, there are two things they always mention: the Steve O situation and the wristband with Dean Jones. And I keep saying to them, I've played for over 12 years of international cricket.
405 test crickets.
Only two things you can remember. You know?
We remember a lot.
Yeah, but with Steve O's situation, I got a lot of respect for him. We've had our battles over the years. He scored runs, I've gotten him out and that stuff. But that particular day, you know, he said something I didn't like, you know, and initially I thought I let it slide because I figured, you know what, in the heat of the moment, people say things. As a matter of fact, what he said, I didn't hear him personally. One of my teammates told me what he said. And I said, you know what, let it slide, it's okay. There's no harm done. Cricket sometimes, you know. And then we went in for the break. And after I came back out, something else tell me, ask him, you know. So I asked him, I mean, did you swear at me? Can you swear at me or whatever? I said, did you swear at me? And he didn't say yes. He didn't say no. He just said something like, well, I can say whatever I want to say. Oh. And to me, that's a yes. Right? And I said, you know what? That's when I snapped. And I told him, you know, don't you ever swear at me again, you know, because I've never done that to you. I need more respect, but I wasn't this gentle.
We all saw that. If Richie Richardson hadn't pulled you away, God knows what would have happened.
Now the World Cup, people are saying it should be an India-West Indies World Cup. The sentimental reasoning both in India and in the Caribbean. Do you agree with that? That can happen?
Well, it can happen. It's not going to be easy because West Indies must be South Africa. Oh, yes. And that's a do or die game for the West Indies. Right?
Rally around the West Indies.
Yeah. But for me, I want the West Indies to win, of course. That goes without saying. And there are two big reasons why I want them to win so badly. One, we'll be the first nation to win it 3 times. Oh, yes. And we'll also be the first nation to win it on home soil. So that's a lot to play for, right? So apart from wanting them to win, those are big incentives. I'm sure the guys know that. But at the same time, they should not put themselves under any unnecessary pressure. Enjoy the cricket, play the cricket they know they can play, and try to win without being under pressure. But I want them to win.
Okay, I know we don't have too much time. We'll let Sir Curtly go. Before I let him go, you know, for those of you who don't know, there was a famous thing about Curtly Ambrose when he used to play, which said that Curtly talks to no man. He would never speak to the media. I'm just so happy that post-retirement you're a changed man. You are so eloquent. You're so expressive in front of the media. When did that change happen?
No, well, Curtly talking to no man isn't exactly true. What I never really care too much to talk to the media. I just figured, you know, some guys love to be in front of the camera talking. I was a different person. I always prefer, as reporters, you watch what's happening and write or say what you think happens without me saying anything. I prefer the 5.5 ounces do talking for me. So it was nothing personal, but all of a sudden somebody came up with this thing that Curtly talks to no man. That's not true. I've never said.
To no media.
Yeah,
to no media.
To media. I've never said that.
Yeah.
I just prefer not to, you know, and it's just me. Nothing personal. It's not like I'll talk to you and not talk to him.
Yeah.
I treat everyone the same. No disrespect meant, but that's just me. Now I'm in retirement. I don't mind talking. I still don't like to do interviews much. But if I have to, I will do it because I no longer play, so I can just express myself a bit more. And yes, I do like commentary, but I enjoy coaching more because for me, I've learned a lot over the years playing, and I believe giving back to cricketers, whether it's juniors or in between or the seniors, giving back to cricketers means a lot to me. It gives me great satisfaction, so coaching always takes priority, even though I love commentating as well.
I saw you, by the way, that reminds me. You went to the USA dressing room, if I'm not mistaken,
yes.
after that heartbreaking loss. What did you do?
I was invited by the coach, Stuart Law, someone who I've known for quite a while, played against him and all that stuff. So he asked me to come and, you know, say a few words to them. He asked me before the game started. So I said to him, Coach, I have no problem, but if by chance you lose the game, what is the dressing room going to be like? You know? He said, no, you'll be fine. So I went in and I told him, you know, I spent a couple of minutes with them, told them that they have nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be embarrassed about, because they played a really good game, right? And I was said to them that maybe overs 7 to 12, they didn't score enough runs, or they probably would have won the game. got the first shot by what, 18 months or so.
Yeah.
So I told them not to be ashamed of, build on that little momentum and go forward. That kind of stuff, some inspirational words, you know. But they played well. You know, a little more experience, they could have gone across the line.
You're liking them? What you've seen of USA?
They look good because a lot of people figured it's going to be an easy walkover. But you have to remember, some of these players come from cricket countries, right? India, Pakistan, the West Indies, so they know cricket. So when they say USA, you immediately think, ah, it's easy walkover. No, these guys can play cricket. They just need some more experience. Yeah.
It's been a privilege.
Yeah, privilege and an honor. Like you say, doesn't do too many interviews, so we are lucky.
And Sir Curtly actually drove down to see us here. Now that's his greatness.
Yes, I mean, you know, I think it was only fitting, you know, Vikrant to do this. You know, I remember when I do my podcast and I called on you.
You've returned the favor.
You didn't say no. You were quite happy to do it. So even though I'm a busy man at the moment, I had to find some time to do it. It wouldn't look right for me. I wouldn't feel right to say no to you, considering what you've done. You know, I mean, so it was a pleasure. And I hope you guys enjoyed Antigua. Okay, I'm leaving in the morning.
Lovely.
You know, and you got to come back.
Thank you, Sir
Yeah,
Curtly.
my pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Privilege.
Thank you. And I see you guys having fun last night.
Yes.
How was the music?
That was the best part of our trip.
I told you it's going to be good. And I didn't even play bass last night.
Yeah,
Because
we didn't.
because I normally play bass and I sing as well. But things was going so well. The keyboardist, who's a musical director, decided, you know what? Keep the crowd going, singing. So I didn't even play the bass last night.
See, we
you know?
shot so much. We
Yeah.
took all the videos.
Yeah, man.
You
so
must post them on your Instagram. You're not very regular on your Instagram.
I don't. It's my big daughter who takes care of all the media stuff. She curses me every day. Daddy, get with the times. I say, no, I'm old school. So she do all the posting, you know. Yeah, sure.
You send it to him, he'll send it to his daughter, and she'll post it.
And they will post, yeah, because they're the ones that take your business, not me. I'm old school. Well, guys, it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Sir Curtly,
And thank you for enjoying Antigua. Thank you for showing up last night. I really appreciate that. You're a man of your word.
Thank you, Sir
Good,
Curtly.
and I see you guys sometime.
Thanks, Sir Curtly.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good man. Okay.
बहुत लंबा हो गया इंतजार। क्या फाइनली इस बार वर्ल्ड कप जीतने का सपना हकीकत में बदलेगा? वर्ल्ड कप की सारी कवरेज हमारे और आपके साथ कहां? स्पोर्ट्स तक पर। स्पोर्ट्स तक यूट्यूब, स्पोर्ट्स तक ऐप और स्पोर्ट्स तक वेबसाइट पर। सीधी कवरेज अमेरिका और वेस्ट इंडीज